You're welcome back to the show. You're watching the Afia Morning Show, and if you're joining us, you are right on time. We are just going to start off with the newspaper review, but first, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Favor Obinyaluba, and of course, the man in colors. I mean, the theme for this week for Ujoatumba has been colors. Today, he's wearing. Is this brown?
You're the one calling it out, right?
Is this brown?
You're the one calling it out, right?
Where are you getting all these clothes from?
Good morning.
No. Where are you getting all these colors from? You're looking good. Like, I mean, at least tell me the theme for the week so I don't come and start looking like...
You said already, colors.
Did you tell me before that it was colors? Now today is Thursday and I've been looking like your house girl throughout the week.
How?
Yesterday, you wore a very colorful... Was it blue or green that he wore yesterday? And I was wearing black. Like, what? Do you understand? Now I'm wearing black and white and he's wearing brown. Like,
I'm feeling some type of way. Do you
should feel some type of way.
Calling out
Of course, we have Barrister Chidi Ujoatumba. How are you doing? Good morning, sir.
I'm doing great. Good morning.
Good morning.
And you're still putting on black and white today.
You see. It's well, no problem. Ujoatumba,
I'm just to douse.
You give us the secret later.
Yeah, right.
You give us the secret later.
Fine.
But let's go straight to our newspaper review. The major paper we're going to start with here, and it also has the major headline, Daily Sun, row in Senate over tax reform bill. Lawmakers protest attempts for FIRS chairman to address plenary without prior notification. Bill will ensure sustainable economic growth. Presidency. Legislators to intervene recover Egbinpa 1.7 trillion naira electricity debt. Rep summon CBN bank CEOs over unverified POS operators. 110 billion naira fraud. Court remands Bello, others in EFCC custody. TUC demands improved working conditions. Payment of wage award arrears. FG spends 8.8 billion naira to fix vandalized power towers. Nigeria, China trade value hits 7.4 trillion naira as at June. Shatima says volume of trade between countries highest in Africa. Supreme Court affirms Eze Okenwa as APCA national chairman. Bars Njoku from parading himself.
Okay, starting from the Vanguard, right? Tax reform bills. Nigerians earning below 1 million naira a year exempted from income tax. Senate to pass bills today. Oyedele, others experts explain to lawmakers, say bills pro-poor to tax prosperity. Naira depreciation boosts foreign portfolio investment by 155.5%. LNG shell starting arbitration hearing with Venture Global, says CEO. FG1 security agencies stop torturing suspects. Gunmen kidnapped free from innocent showroom in Anambra. Reps investigate discos over failure to replace obsolete meters. Experts calls for intervention in rising cases of diabetes. Alleged 110 billion naira fraud. Ex-Governor Bello docked, remanded in EFCC custody. I will quit if Super Eagles qualify for 2026 World Cup, attributed to Bros.
Of course, let's move over to Daily Trust. Senate brushes aside opposition, admits presidential committee to debate proposed reform legislations today. Fraud. Yahya Bello remanded for fresh arraignments today. Operators raise safety concerns over air traffic controller shortage. TED Fund suspends foreign scholarship over cost abscondment.
Moving over to this day. Senate in rowdy session over landmark tax reform bills. Adedeji Yakubu Oyedele explain fiscal policies, seek support. Senate wades in to FG 1.6 trillion naira debts of Egbin. Industries FX crunch, gas supply constraints. Others. TCN indicts police as FG suspends 8.8 billion naira to repair 128 vandalized power towers. Major marketers suspend petrol imports, now sourced from Dangote refinery, lifted 148 million liters from refinery in 10 weeks. And lastly, alleged 10 billion naira fraud. Court decides Bello's bail request December 10.
All right, let's start with Nigerian News Direct. Let's continue rather. Tax reforms will ease burden of millions of Nigerian workers. Presidency. As FIRS boss canvasses exclusion of vulnerable people in taxation, police not charging vandals for actual crimes, TCN laments. I have never borrowed a dime to execute project, Governor Adeleke. Court remands Yahaya Bello in EFCC custody to deliver ruling on bail application December 10. ICPC arraigns ex-FMBN MD, two others over $65 million money laundering charge.
Moving over to New Telegraph. Anger, rancor in Senate over tax reform bills. Northern senators reject access granted FIRS chair. Orders to make clarifications on bills. Ndume fails to mobilize colleagues for a walkout. Committee on Army screens Oluyede behind closed doors. Shetima, BRICS investment flow into Nigeria grosses $1.27 billion. Power, FG suspends 8.8 billion naira to fix. FG spends 8.8 billion naira to fix vandalized equipment. And this one says FG to probe Nigerian businessman's 5-year detention in South Africa. Tinubu appoints Abiola SSA on linguistic foreign matters. NPA plans to increase container traffic at seaports by 70%. UK opens biggest Africa visa application center in Lagos. Lack of proper documentation. Orders. Reps. Summon CBN governor. Banks. CEOs probe POS user issues. And lastly, why I'm in support of state creation, attributed to Gowon, says whatever North does must serve Nigeria's interest.
Moving over to the Matrix, Yahaya Bello remains in EFCC's custody for 2 weeks, says court. Justice Aneni to rule on bail application December 10. Records before court demonstrate bad conduct, not deserving of bail prosecution. Melodrama as judge angrily leaves courtroom over rowdiness. Billboard, Beyonce crowned greatest pop star of 21st century. Serix 2024 conference, Shetima departs for Cote d'Ivoire. Obi charges NNPCL on accountability of newly launched PH refineries operations. Supreme Court upholds Sly Ezokenwa as Afghan national chairman. BRICS nations investment in Nigeria hit $1.27 billion in June 2024. Tax reform bill, Senate in rowdy session. Ndume kicks against FIRS boss's appearance as plenary. 60 taxes, levies collected across Nigeria. Nothing to show for them, Oyedele. FG project 33 trillion naira in revenue from livestock sector.
Moving over to Fresh News. Oyedele blasts Nigeria's tax system. Over 60 levies collected, yet no visible progress. Nigeria will overcome insecurity under my leadership, acting COAS vows. FG reveals shocking 8.8 billion naira bill for repairing vandalized transmission towers. Obasanjo warns tragedy looms for peddlers of my death rumor. FG warns security agencies against torturing suspects, reviews Anti-Torture Act. Reps to probe undocumented POS uses summons CBN governor, bank CEOs. Abiola's son joins Tinubu's team as SSA on linguistics, global relations. Yahaya Bello remanded in EFCC custody. Court adjoins case December 10. Lastly, justice on hold. Cross River magistrates embark on strike.
Moving over to Daily Independent. Reps OK 2025 to 2027 MTEF probe Federation account remittances. Approved $75 oil price, 2.06 Mbpd crude production, 1,400 naira to $1. Supreme Court affirms Ezeokenwa as Afghan national chairman. Tinubu names Abiola's son Jamiu SSA on linguistics and foreign matters. Unizik VC Tosso orders sues FUGUS for 9, making him prof. Tinubu arrives Paris to fortify Nigeria-France relations. Reps investigate POS users, summon CBN governor, bank CEOs. Whatever North does must serve greater interests of Nigeria. Go one. Tax reform bills. Uproar in Senate as Ndume faults procedure. Tax reforms will lead to prosperity of Nigeria. Adedeji. FG spent 8.8 billion naira to repair 128 vandalized power towers in 11 months.
Lastly, the Daily Times. Senate summons Works Minister Julius Berger CCECC over Odukbani Calabar Highway. Court remands Yahaya Bello in EFCC custody until December 10. Tax reform bills receives boost as Senate receives presidential committee. Southeast Road users decry extortion frustration at checkpoints. Reps committee grills Army Chief Oluyede behind closed doors. FCT Senate warns Development Commission for satellite towns. And lastly, Tinubu to lead delegation of Nigeria South Africa by National Commission.
Wow, a whole lot. I think the tax reform bills are the ones that it cuts across all the papers. And the riders are what's funny, because there are some riders that are for it, there are some riders that are against it, there are some riders that are saying some very contradictory things. And of course, we also saw the oraldiness at the court, at the ruling as well. We also have Yahaya Bello, the fraud case. I want us to even start from that, because it has been a tussle throughout the year. It's been a tussle throughout the year for him even appearing in court in the first place. And then earlier this week, we heard he came to turn himself in. AFCC was saying they're the ones that retained him or detained him and all of that. But what do you make out of this whole Yahaya Bello case?
It's obvious that Yahaya Bello has a financial case to answer. So let him answer the case. He will not be the first governor that has been to prison as a result of financial irregularity or corruption. So let him go and face the case. The amount we are talking about, it's so much. It's so much. So he can't just be gallivanting around saying that EFCC doesn't have a case. EFCC doesn't have a case. Why are they coming after you? So let him go and face the case that he incurred while he was 8 years in the office, and that will also go ahead to serve as a deterrent, if I can use that word, for other governors. I don't know whether that thing still work in our politics these days. When you are in office, you are amassing wealth. When you are in office, you are grabbing land. When you are in office, you are investing the money that you are supposed to use to develop the people and the state. You are using it on yourself. And when you leave office, EFCC will still use taxpayers' money to be pursuing all your relatives from one part of the country to the other. It doesn't make any sense. Until Nigeria puts an end to corruption, governors in office, politicians in office, looting and carrying away Nigerian money, until we put an end to it, all these things that we're doing, it will never get anywhere. If he, starts speaking other language, they can even do plea bargain. Out of the 80 billion or whatever, he could even bring some amount of money and hand over to EFCC, and the whole case will die. At the end of the day, what about the project they were supposed to use that money to do? What about the salary they were supposed to use that money? What about the pension? What about the renovation of schools and creation of employment that was supposed to use that money to do? The next thing, the current governor will go and there will be a bailout. And it's a cycle of poverty. It's a cycle of corruption. And who will bail the cat? That's Nigeria for you. If you look into the cases of most of these governors that just left office in 2023, the corruption cases and petitions, they are very, very staggering. It's just that if you jump into the bandwagon and become a member of APC, or if the current government, likes your face, they could call EFCC off your back, and all of a sudden you join the bandwagon, and all of them are corrupt. If you look into the way they were in office, you will see something that is much more bigger than 80 billion naira. That's my contention on that issue. All of them should be investigated, not just only Yahaya Bello. Yes, if you're a governor in Nigeria, declare your assets. The moment you leave office, come back and redeclare your assets. Every other thing you cannot give account for. First EFCC, until you continue to do it like this. Let me tell you, the bulk of our money goes into the hand of governors. Governors are so rich. Governors are so powerful. Or should I talk about the security vote alone? At the end of the day, they even go ahead and borrow. What do they use this money to do? Nigerians are living in penury. Go around there, you see, the only people who are making it are those who knows somebody who knows a politician or somebody who works in an oil company. These are the only two things that puts good money into the hands of people in Nigeria. And it shouldn't continue like that. If you love this country and you want to go out there and serve, what you get should not be the attraction. The attraction should be the solution you are bringing and the problem you will solve for Nigeria. And if you do it like that, will attract good people to vie for political positions.
Okay, hopefully. Well, sorry, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, not on this subject. I wanted to talk on a headline on Daily Times.
Yeah.
The Calabar Highway. Senate summons Works Minister Julius Berger CCECC over Odupani's Calabar Highway. And earlier this year, Calabar, you know, where the expectation was that you spend 20 minutes from Lagos to Calabar. You know, what people were expecting, the Calabar Coastal Highway and all of that. We were seeing a lot of demolitions in Lagos.
Yes.
A lot of people were losing their properties and all of that. We were thinking that this was going to be a project that would, you know, kick off really quickly and all of that. But after a couple months or after a couple weeks, to be very honest, we saw that the ginger, as some people would call it, the ginger
Died down.
It's
everything
slowing down.
just did not even slow down. It does die down completely. This is the end of the year, and now we are seeing that Senate is summoning Works Minister Julius Berger over the highway. I mean, what has been your assessment over it so far?
I was actually looking for a particular news I saw yesterday. Someone was just trying to draw a comparison between the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway and South Africa Egypt Coastal Highway. This one is the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway is like 700 and something kilometers, 770 kilometers. Why this one is 1,000 something, and the money they are using to build the one for Nigeria is almost like 3 times the one that they used to construct a highway from South Africa to Egypt. Just do the math. You can imagine the distance. But that's by the way. The most important thing here is that definitely you will have a pushback when you come to execute a project of that magnitude. I don't know how the contract was awarded, but some are saying that if you go right deep into that, you will find out that Mr. President has a hand in it. That those who are executing the contract are related to Mr. President. I don't know. I just heard from the grapevine. We have companies that have handled such mega projects in Nigeria. You understand? So the most important thing is that they will definitely have a pushback. These are people's property. These are people's farmland. These are people's businesses that are going ahead, destroying and all the rest of them. Yes, we know the economic viability of that coastal highway. But like Favor rightly pointed out, the activities and everything, they are gradually, there are court cases. So there are court cases. There are a whole lot of court cases. I don't know how far they have gone to settle those that they have taken their farmland. But all I know is that such coastal highway, you don't just within a fraction of a percentage second, you said that you have completed a lot of work. Really has to be done. A lot of things they are destroying a whole lot of things. So let them be honest with us. That's what we are saying. I think the reps have invited them. Let them be honest with us. How much is going into this project? And how long will it take for this project to be completed? That's just the most important thing there. Because this administration might still invest billions into this project. And at the end of the day, they will leave office and leave the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway uncompleted. You can imagine what will happen if another administration comes into power. So it will still go a whole lot of money. And when we talk about economy, this is what we are talking about. Oji, if you go and see the quantum of projects that were left by the past administration, I think we have mentioned it in this studio once in a while, the quantum of projects that were left. Do you know that the building material, the cost of material at that time, when the budget was fixed together, when the plan to execute that project was put together, it would have been cheaper to execute those projects in 2021, 2022, or probably 2023. Now, that administration have left office and a new one have inherited that project. And the cost of completing it has tripled. It will gulp a whole lot of money. It does not show that our leaders are sensitive to the plight of the people. And if you complete this project on time, it will go a long way to create employment, alleviate the hardship that people are going through. When we talk about sensitivity, this is what we are talking about. When are you starting a project and when are you finishing it? How much will it take? Or 2020, you can see one of the writers is saying that they have passed the 2025-2027 midterm expenditure, and this thing will keep on recurring. 2025, Calabar Coastal Highway will take part of Nigerian budget. Yeah. 2026, it will take part of it because it has not been. 2027, it will not be something like the politicians are using to. They will bring up money, they will do whatever they want with it. What we are saying is that the way Mr. President came out concerning the construction of that road, I thought that by now, a good portion of it must have been, started or completed. But they're still in clearing, they're still attending to court cases, they are still trying to settle those whom they are taking their property. I know definitely that they will face a whole lot of pushback, but let us have a timetable on how they intend to execute that project.
Okay, let's get to the one troubling the people of the Senate and talking about the tax reform bill, and but so many cut across so many headlines right here. Vanguard says tax reform bills, Nigerians earning below 1 million a year, 1 million naira a year, exempted from the income tax, right? And also rowdy session over landmark tax reform bills in Senate. They are angry that they just walked in on them and started having that conversation, right? And it didn't fix up a plenary, right? And also having a conversation regarding this bill, which somehow is being countered from the north. So
yes, the bill have drawn a lot of attention. Not necessarily that we should not pay tax, but if you see all the riders, they are split into two. Some are saying that it will help Nigerian businesses, while some are saying that all the tax you've been collecting, where are the money? Where has it gone to? What have you used the money to do? It's not just all about collecting tax. And Oji, I am of the opinion that anything involving tax reform this time should be jettisoned, or rather should be put to an abeyance, probably when the economy improves. I have done a heated argument on this studio concerning the government coming up with tax this period, okay? There's a whole lot of tax already. When we talk about tax on a federal level, tax on a state level, and we're also talking about tax on a local government level. If you're doing any business in this town, go around, you can see how they're integrating their tax. You pay rates, you pay a whole lot of things as you are doing businesses. What is Nigerian interest rate? How can the interest rate be going higher and government is initiating a whole lot of tax also on that same business, and you are complaining that there is no employment? How are you helping medium and small scale businesses? What are you doing for them? How many grants are they receiving? How are we? Look, if you go, you can bear me witness. Medium and small scale businesses, they are the ones that sustain Nigerian families. Okay? They are the ones that create employment. They create more than 50-something% of all the employment in this country. How many people are the federal government employing? How many people are the state government employing? These people need to be given. They are the people that are required bailout. They are the people that are required low single digit interest rate. They are the people that require the enabling environment for their businesses to grow. So you cannot be bringing taxation upon taxation upon taxation on their business that is struggling to eke out a dry existence. We can't keep on sucking on them like that. It doesn't take us anywhere. That's an argument on its own part. But the money that you are tasking people, how are we now going to enjoy this taxpayers' money? How are we going to enjoy the taxpayers' money? The oil money have not been given account to. Up to yesterday, they are still repatriating money, billions stolen by Nigerian military and politicians, stashed in foreign accounts. They are still bringing it back into this country. That corruption that has been the bane of our complaint. When are we going to take care of it? When are we going to tackle it? You want to tax people when we have a national treasury that politicians over more than 20-something years now have been, eating on like vulture. They've been pouncing on it and eating our national treasury. Now, it's not enough, okay? Where has our oil taken us to? No. Has our oil made Nigeria a rich nation? We are the sixth highest oil producing country in this country, in the whole world. Where has our oil taken us to? It has ended in the pockets of few politicians. And now you want to bring out a tax reform that will milk and suck at Nigerians. It doesn't make any sense. I will join the North to oppose this tax. If they like, let that tax reform wear Christmas face. It does not, it will definitely not do us any good. Let them give us an account of how much they have realized with tax. You could remember what happened when Buhari came into office. They said they're going to have a single treasury account. Single treasury account. Single treasury account. Within 1 month, they said they have realized 1.something trillion from the single treasury account. Where is the money? No, where is the money? Where is the money today?
Where is the money?
$20
billion.
Where is all those money?
Subsidy.
They came out to say the subsidy, they have saved up to
20
billion US dollars.
Yeah.
20 billion US dollars. The next moment, Mr. President is wanting the Senate to approve $2.2 trillion for him to Onyekana Wobu. Whom are they talking to? Our Nigerians. Okay, let's see how this confusion and let's see where it will take us at the end of it. That's why I keep on blaming and charging this current administration to come up with something. Lives were lost during this election. Hopes were high during this election. Manifestos were shared and a lot of promises were made. Wow. With 18 months, Mr. President has embarked on a 32 foreign trip in 18 months. Mr. President has embarked on 32 foreign trips under 18 months. Where does it take us to?
Yeah,
where are the foreign investments?
My friend will call me a tourist president.
Well, not going to do us any good.
Daily Independence, right? Since talking about the North, whatever North does must serve greater interest of Nigeria, attributed to Yakubu Gowon, right? Cautions against returning to old thinking of regional setting, emphasizes why he supported creation of multiple states.
The state is to destabilize us. Had it been we were in that old regional system, okay, the voice will be strong. The system of government will not be presidential. This presidential system of government or democracy is a fraud. It's a total fraud. You understand? The more you split people, the more you you give voice to dissenting opinion. The more you create this state, okay, the more they cannot come together. The moment you create a state, they start looking for their own capital. They start looking for their own everything. But if you leave it at the regional level, okay, we'll face our palm oil. The West will face their cocoa, while the North will face their groundnut pyramid. You saw where it took Nigeria. No. That's the right thing. Even if in the state mindset, okay, we could still bring back that regional governance. Even if you have let's take for instance, up to 6 to 7 states in the southeast, the governors could still operate with that regional mindset.
I think
when it comes to land, when it comes to entrepreneur, when it comes to setting up businesses, you understand, things that can sustain the southeast, we could still retain that regional mindset and go back to farm.
The mindset is, somewhat coming back, because I listened to an interview by Senator Abaribe. He was talking about that since after all these years, the presidency can actually come to an Igbo man, right? That it's time that the Southeasterners start thinking of developing the region. Forget about the center region and make it more attractive.
I'm interested in this. This is the discussion.
Yeah.
This is the discussion. But if you go out, if you travel around, I do go Onitsha, Owerri, I travel a lot. Businesses are coming down to Southeast. I have to be honest with you. They are giving land to people. People are coming down here to set up all kinds of factories, all kinds of things. Businesses are coming. But if the government can increase it, if they increase, one, it will create a whole lot of employment. Two, it will be a kind of a training ground for youth who are coming up. If you have more entrepreneurial businesses, you will give the youth the opportunity to go and learn. Youth should go and learn. No matter whatever you've studied or you've studied in the university, forget about that. Go out, go and learn one practical skill and put it into good use. Until you start solving problem, you will not earn money. Until you start solving an immediate problem of the society, you will never earn money. So what I'm saying is that regional system of government, when we practiced it, okay, it paid us well. It was a regional thing. The mindset was one, okay? The development of the region was seen as a single thing, and all hands were on deck. and all the things that were set up by the southeastern region to use to develop the region itself, they all paid very well. They all worked out very well. If time would permit us, we'll go into things like Oji River power station, you understand, and so many things down here that during that era they were set up for the betterment of the region. And what are we known for? We are known for our palm oil and farming, and it sustained us. It sustained the Southeast and it sustained every other region. So even if states are being created, let us also go. Abakaliki alone can feed the entire West Africa. You know that one. Yeah. Just a single small state can feed the entire West Africa because of the soil, because of the nature of the soil that they have. So when we see natural things like this, I think what the government should do is to create an enabling environment around it, roads and everything. Let the locals be given the seedlings, the money and all it takes to go back, and also the security to farm, so that we can have all that we need at the end of the day. Yeah.
I think I'll ask a final, because we're out of time. But on First News, there is a headline I want us to, and it's kind of on your field too. Justice on hold. Cross River magistrates embark on strike.
I have never heard that kind of a thing before. No, since my practice, how many years of practice? Have you ever heard that lawyers went on strike? We can protest. We can demonstrate, we can even sue people, okay? But we don't go on strike. And now hearing that magistrates in Cross River said have embarked on strike. I mean, it's something that really, really needs to be looked into, because how will the state fare? The magistrate is the court where so many cases that borders on crime and, other civil cases, even eviction from your house and all those is being handled by magistrate court. If they go on strike, how will the state fare for the time that they are being on strike? It will also add to the number of people in the facility, in the prison, in the correctional facility center. So I think the NBA, Cross River, and also the judiciary there should quickly look into it, because the judiciary is a one body. So what will make the magistrate to go on strike while the judges are still sitting and other officers of the judiciary are still sitting? So I believe that it will be they all work together. I'm thinking of what could have made them to embark on this kind of strike. I've never heard about it before. And I think it should be called off as quickly as possible.
This 2024, we've been seeing things that we've never heard of before. This year has been a year we've never seen this time before.
You still have time? No? Okay.
You have
I just want to ask you a question. Okay. Yesterday, it's been in the news, right? Port Harcourt refinery is up and running.
Yes, I heard it yesterday. Yes, I don't know where I was talking about, whether in this studio or another one. I heard it yesterday. The combination of the function of this upcoming refinery. I think it will do. That one is not private refinery. It's government refineries. Yeah. It's NMPC refinery, and it will go a long way to open the market up. If they are producing in the capacity that Dangote refinery is producing right now, I have to assure you that we will not only have enough oil, the price will go down, and then we will definitely Yes, the price will go down and we'll definitely export. One thing that is going on now, Dangote is refining, and independent marketers are also importing from outside Nigeria. It's not just from Dangote, but more of the independent marketers now are going to Dangote. Like you cannot, the ferrying cost, you understand, and logistics, you can't take it away. Look at the price of Dangote oil and look at how much you are buying it. Ask yourself, what's the difference? It's transportation, because you have to lift it, move it, and then dock it, and then bring it here before we can start using it. So why we make all these refineries come up in Nigeria, it's a good one for this administration. I think they should focus on another one, maybe the one in Warri. They should also bring it up. And let's see.
President Tinubu is calling, he's excited and calling for NNPCL to also revamp, the one in Kaduna
and
Warri. Yes, that's where we were before in 2000.
Yeah, but let me play the devil's advocate. Words on the streets, people, I'm just representing them now, what they're saying, that apparently there's a reason why all of a sudden these refineries just start functioning.
Yeah. And because the fact that it is also functioning, like in the same, like at the same time.
Yes.
Loading is happening
Easier.
at the same time.
Yes.
Everything is happening like on the same day, starting
Yes.
immediately. Like, no, according to a tweet I saw, since we are saying
Yeah.
what is
We're talking about what people
are saying.
saying out there, yeah.
Somebody said there is no refinery that starts loading and production the same day.
Is it the Port Harcourt refinery?
Yes.
Yes,
But
there
if you
might be a
go-
reason why.
If you
Yeah.
go back to the Port Harcourt refinery story, you can bear me witness that since the commencement of this administration, they've brought so many timetable that it will start working on this day. So they've been loading.
It was meant to
they've been
start
loading
last
crude.
year,
Yeah, it was.
December.
Yeah, you could bear me witness. They've come up with so many time that it will be this month. It couldn't make it. It couldn't make. So I think the work has been going on, and they have been trying to. We were even thinking that the Port Harcourt refinery should start working before Dangote refinery, but all of a sudden the news died down. So I don't know. They know that if Dangote gets all the crude, he gets all the profit. You understand?
Yeah.
But if you can put up your own refinery and the government refinery is functioning, it will put NNPCL in a very good bargaining position.
Well, our competition in this kind of sector is very
Yes,
healthy.
let there be
Welcome
competition.
here.
Let there be competition.
All right. I think we'll leave it at that. Let there
Yes.
be competition. Thank you very much, Barrister Chidi, for
Thanks.
taking our time to join us this
Yeah.
morning. And hopefully after the show, you listen to why your counterparts in Cross River are going on strike.
I will.
We're going on a very quick break. When we return, we'll take quick trips around the region. Do stay with us.